Religious toleration has long been the paradigm of the liberal ideal of toleration of group differences, as reflected in both the constitutions of the major Western democracies and in the theoretical literature explaining and justifying these practices. The American Constitution provides that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. As the German Constitution, or Basic Law, provides in Article 4, freedom of faith and of conscience, and freedom to profess a religious or philosophical creed shall be inviolable, adding in a separate clause, the undisturbed practice of religion shall be guaranteed. The first of the 4 fundamental freedoms in the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms is held to be freedom of conscience and religion, and Article 18 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights declares, everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. This right includes freedom to change his religion or belief, and freedom, either alone or in community with others, and in public or private, to manifest his religion or belief in teaching, practice, worship, and observance. While the American Constitution only mentions religion, the recognition for claims of conscience in the other documents is more perfunctory than substantive. Litigated cases overwhelmingly involve claims of religious conscience. Indeed, if claims of religious conscience were not really the primary concern in each case, then surely the explicit mention of religion, or the mention of special protections for religion, would appear redundant on the protection purportedly afforded claims of conscience more generally. While the historical reasons for the special pride of place accorded religious toleration are familiar, what may be more surprising is that no one has been able to articulate a credible, principled argument for tolerating religion qua religion, that is, an argument that would explain why, as a matter of moral principle, we ought to accord special legal and moral treatment to religious practices. There are, to be sure, principled arguments for why the state ought to tolerate a plethora of private choices and conscientious commitments, as well as related practices of its citizenry. But none of these single out religion for anything like the special treatment it is accorded in existing Western legal systems. So, why tolerate religion? The answer in this book is not because of anything that has to do with it being religion as such, or so I shall argue. Principled toleration. To see why this is so, we will need to start, though with some distinctions that make possible a more perspicuous formulation of the question. In particular, we need to state clearly what is at stake in something called a principle of toleration. I shall take as a point of departure a useful formulation of the issues by the late English philosopher Bernard Williams. A practice of toleration means only that one group, as a matter of fact, puts up with the existence of the other, differing group. One possible basis of such an attitude is a virtue of toleration, which emphasizes the moral good involved in putting up with beliefs one finds offensive. If there is to be a question of toleration, it is necessary that there should be some belief or practice or way of life that one group thinks, however fanatically or unreasonably, wrong, mistaken, or undesirable. For there to be a practice of toleration, one group must deem another differing group's beliefs or practices wrong, mistaken, or undesirable, and yet put up with them nonetheless.